Welcome, ASUN fans, to another edition of the Lunchbox, where we take our lunch hour and talk with your favorite ASUN athletes. Joining me today is 2024 ASUN Preseason Player of the Year, Ashley Labbe. Thanks for joining us on the Lunchbox.
Of course.
So last year, FGCU won the 2023 ASUN Championship in women's soccer. And you guys came to the tournament as an underdog. Now you're tabbed as the favorites. Do you feel like the team mindset changes a little bit from being the underdogs now to being the defending champions?
Um, I don't think the mindset changes at all. I mean, we're a very hardworking blue collar team, so we've always had that mindset ever since I got here, and I think ever since the program was started, I think we've always just had that hardworking mindset and that championship mindset. So I don't think anything changes at all.
Love to hear it. You guys were underdogs last year, and going to that tournament was awesome to see you guys just keep winning, keep pounding, and eventually getting that trophy at the end of the year. What was that kind of like? Like
I
you
mean,
come
it's
in,
one of the best feelings.
yeah.
I mean, the game was extremely not in our favor in the beginning, and then we turned it around at the end and really just kept everyone on their seats on the edge of their seats. So I think it was just a really exciting game, and it was just something great to be a part of. And I'm really glad that I got to experience that whole championship game. So yeah,
For fans that don't know, that game went to PKs.
yeah.
So what is that like? You're standing on your line, you're waiting. UNA went up, I believe, and missed the goal, and you're like, wow. But like, what is it right up to that moment? What is that like? You're like,
Well,
please miss, or
yeah, I think PKs are probably one of the most nerve-wracking things in soccer because it seems so simple. You're right in front of the goal, you should be able to make it. But, there's a lot of other factors, the pressure, the fans, just everything adds up. And I mean, at the end of the day, you hope that your PK makes it in. And we just got lucky and we got the better end of it. So it was really exciting, just a very nerve-wracking and exciting moment. So.
it was great. It was a great way to cap off an awesome year in ASUN women's soccer last year. I'm talking a lot about the championships. I got one last question. What do you think from your team? You mentioned just being blue collar, but like, what does it take to repeat now? You've been there, now you have to repeat.
So I think the most important thing, especially from our leadership, is upholding the standards that we have from our team. Like we set goals for our team just as a whole. I mean, last year we wanted to win the conference again, but now this year we want to win the conference again. And when we advance to the NCAA tournament, win a game. So we just want to keep building from that. Definitely all gas, no brakes.
Great motto. All gas, no brakes.
Yep.
Um, as I previously mentioned, you were ASUN Preseason Player of the Year. What does that honor kind of mean to you? And what is it like just feeling like, you have an expectation now to live up to?
Well, it's definitely something that I've worked for in my past 4 years, and now it's my fifth year. So it's a great honor to be given, but also it allows me to set a really high standard for myself this season, and I want to become the postseason player of the year. So it sets a very high standard for myself, and I just want to keep achieving. So
That's awesome to hear. And congratulations on that honor. Well
yeah.
deserved, obviously. You just mentioned you're now a graduate student in your fifth year. You didn't have to come back, but you decided to come back to this team. What kind of attracted you to a fifth year and staying with the Eagles?
Well, I love the game, so I just love my team. We're like a family. Our coach Jim, he's just been so great all for my past 4 years. So I just decided I want to come back. I want to get another ring. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, good luck getting that next ring. I'm looking forward to the Eagles this year for sure. Moving on to like our back half of our interview, trying to do a couple more fun questions for you. And because this is the lunchbox, we ask every athlete that comes on, what is their pre-game meal?
Mm. Well, I don't have a favorite pregame meal. It all depends on if we're traveling. Like, I usually try to do pasta. Pasta is my favorite.
Yep.
Uh, I like a good fettuccine Alfredo. That's probably like my favorite pregame meal. But it all depends when we're traveling. Like wherever we eat. So it's always different on the road.
Yeah, that makes sense. Carbo loading before a big match, that makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah.
Pasta, it's a very popular choice on this
Yes.
program. Um, for women's soccer fans that know, the U.S. women's national team just took gold in the Paris Olympics. I'm curious, um, if you can choose one player from that team to be on the Eagles this year, who would it be and why?
Um, Honestly, I would say Trinity Rodman because she's just always got that fire in her, and that's the kind of stuff that we look for in players that we need. We want like a great goal scorer, someone who's just going to put it away for us. And I think she's definitely the embodiment of a player that's got fire and who will always bring just energy to the team, no matter what.
Totally. You couldn't have said it better. I think Trinity is like just such a like traditional like striker. They're like
Yeah,
will get you the goal, puts it all
yeah.
on the field. So that was a great choice. Now we'll go on to the game that we always play here on the lunchbox, red flag, green flag. Um, I will give you three prompts and you're gonna have to tell me if it's a red flag, meaning something you wouldn't do, or a green flag, meaning something you would do. So here are your prompts. Having a game day superstition.
Mm, red flag. I don't have any superstitions.
Nice. You just keep it all on the field then. You
Yeah,
just
I don't really let external factors affect my play in the game.
that's a good way to be. Good way to be. Having a messy locker.
Oh, that's definitely a red flag. I think your space tells a lot about you, and I don't want to be that messy person. So I've always been raised to stay clean. So I try to keep my locker as clean as possible.
That's a good choice. I agree. Sometimes athletes too will say, well, if it's messy, it means you're doing a lot of work at least, right? But
I guess, yeah.
I agree. It should be it's a red flag. Finally, showing up to the team dinner early.
Oh, that is definitely a green flag. I feel like universally as student athletes, you always want to be at least like 10 minutes early, and that's on time. So it's definitely drilled into us that we need to always be early to everything, any team event, anything.
That's good to hear. Well, that's all the questions I have for you. Ashley, thanks for so much for coming on the lunchbox and best of luck this year.
Of course, thank you. Thanks so much for having me.